Well, as you can see, I got this thing pretty much back together. So in this video, we're going to swap the front sprocket. I'm going to take the bike out for a quick ride, and it's going to be the first time I've been back on a bike in like 6 months. So that'll be interesting. And when we bring it back in, we'll drop the oil. I got to get a sample to send off for analysis. And then we'll do a basic oil change on it. But yeah, here's the bike now. Got the new fairings back on it, new seat, new front brackets, and everything is back together. It's looking good. And we're going to do our pre-ride inspection as well. Go through the brakes again, look at the fluid, make sure everything is working well, and take it from there. On the rear set side, it's ready to go. I'm going to pull the front counter sprocket off and replace it with another factory one. So the factory Yamaha counter sprocket nuts have this safety flange to the washer here that's crimped in to the output here, so it keeps it from rotating. To get that off, all you gotta do is take a flat blade screwdriver and tap it out so that it clears that indentation. Then you can remove that nut. Let's do that now. It's really important to keep up on your sprockets, especially on the CP3 engine that's found in these Yamaha FZ09s. Too many times I've seen some damage to the block here when a chain snaps, it gets thrown forward and it cracks and actually blows a hole in the block here. I've seen that a lot on our forum. So always keep up on these, and get back in here. I'm trying to open up the flange so we can get this nut off. There you go. That should be a 30, I think it's a 30 millimeter. Let's check it out. So I've shown this technique before, and I'm going to put a ratchet strap over the rear brake down to the rear stand to hold it down so that I can remove the counter sprocket. Alright, now we can remove the counter sprocket nut and get that chain out and replace the sprocket. Alright, take a 30 millimeter socket and see if we can break that loose. There she goes. So we have our counter sprocket nut and washer. Threads look good. Go ahead and replace these. Let's do that now. Alright, now here's the sprocket I'm going with, and a Yamaha nut for that sprocket. So here are the part numbers. If you need them, check them out. Okay, old sprocket is out, and I'll zoom in on this so you can see just how shark-finned the sprocket is, and why you want to maybe do a little bit better job than I do on maintenance on your sprockets. Alright, what we have here on the left is the sprocket we just removed from the bike, and you can see there's a little bit of shark tooth or shark fin wear pattern to that sprocket. And if you remember back in my BMW maintenance videos, we talk a little bit about that and how these consumables wear on the bike and what happens. So as this sprocket begins to wear, you run the risk of damaging your chain, and when the chain is damaged or breaks, that's not something you want at all. So you can imagine the mass of a chain getting flung off the motorcycle. It could hurt you, it could hurt others. It could also damage your motorcycle. It could get bound up in your rear wheel, and having a locked up rear wheel at speed can do a lot of damage, could kill you. So we're gonna replace this sprocket with a fresh new one. Same as the stock, it's gonna have the rubber damping material in it, and same tooth count. I'm going with a 16 tooth. So let's go put that in the bike and we'll torque it up. We're going to check the spec. I believe it's 89 foot-pounds, so I'll double check that, and I'll show you another little torque wrench adapter that you can get if you don't have a torque wrench that goes up that high, or maybe one that isn't on a 1/2-inch drive. So I'll show you that. Okay, we're on. Next we'll put on our new nut with the safety feature. Okay. We're gonna lock the rear wheel again and then torque this, and then we'll tap in our safety feature. I'm going to try this inline torque wrench adapter set at 50 foot-pounds first, just to see what it does. The spec is 69 foot-pounds for the front sprocket nut, so let's give this thing a try. I've never used one before, so see what I like about it. Okay, perfect. Now we need to knock in our little safety dents. I'm still going to mark this with my torque marker just for my own visual later. And yeah, we'll get it back together. Let's go. Okay, we got the little flange dimpled in. I'm going to mark this with our silicone, and also remember to tension our rear axle and lock down my lock nuts. Alright, let's go take this thing out for a ride. Get some heat into the oil. We'll bring it back in and we'll drop the oil, do our sample, and yeah, do it. Quick shifter's not working. Check it out. Alright, we have our sample ready to go. I use Blackstone Laboratories to do the oil analysis. And the drain plug was cleaned up. There wasn't any major metal shavings or anything on there to indicate, you know, something worse. So after I get the plug back in, I'm going to mark and drill a new hole here for the safety wire that goes to the bottom of the sump. This is solid aluminum, so we're going to drill a small hole, and that'll be a little bit better than running my safety wire all the way up to this bracket up here.